What it really is a breakdown of the spirit.
The Rehabilitation Project Force is a program within the church's religious order whereby Sea Org members who burn out on their jobs or are failing or incapable of or not performing well in their functions can be given the voluntary opportunity to have a period of reflection, rehabilitation, redemption, making of amends within the religion as an alternative to being expelled from the church's religious order.
So it's a punishment, in fact?
Absolutely not. The Rehabilitation Project Force is one of the oldest religious traditions. It's almost as old as religious orders themselves.
In correspondence with Four Corners, you described it as a private religious retreat.
That's correct.
Tommy Davis says that the RPF is a private religious retreat.
A private religious retreat? He's got to be hallucinating. Ask him what drugs he's taking.
Oh, you got hiccups, huh?
After Mark Headley was threatened with being sent to the RPF, he fled Hemet on a motorbike. His wife Claire followed soon after.
Kaylee, look at Mommy.
But many of those, like the Headleys who've left the Sea Org, report being pursued and spied on afterwards.
I'm driving down Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, and I noticed a Ford F-150 that was following alongside me.
When we filmed with Mark Headley in Los Angeles late one night, we were tailed by a car.
I left in 2005, and I've had a good 4 years of experience in being followed by private investigators sent by Cientology. So it's a bit odd. I mean, I'm driving my kids to school, and I have a private investigator following me. It's I've had private investigators show up at my place of business. I've had private investigators camped outside my house day and night. My garbage has been dug through.
Half an hour later, back at our West Hollywood hotel, there was a familiar vehicle parked outside.
We're gonna see if it is the same vehicle and the same license plate. And I will tell you that, yes, it is. 8U2-9097. There's a gentleman who is sitting down now. He's laying down.
Hi!
That was a private investigator who's been following us all night long.
Is it possible that a church attorney hired a private detective to follow Four Corners and Mark Headley while we were filming? Is that possible?
I couldn't comment on that. I couldn't comment. I mean, I couldn't be able to. I wouldn't know how to answer that. I have no knowledge on it, so I don't know how to answer it.
This week, Australia's Senate is expected to vote on whether to launch an inquiry into the alleged abuses against Australians that have taken place within Scientology's organisation. Around the world, the Church faces challenges in the courts, in parliaments, and from charitable authorities unconvinced that it was established for the public benefit. Liz and James Anderson, along with other ex-Scientologists, are considering pursuing a class action aimed at getting their money back. Their own claim totals around $650,000. Last year, Liz and James Anderson finally lost patience with the church. Fiona had gone for good, and they were determined that Jordan should not disappear as well. They learned that Jordan, who was unhappy in the Sea Org and wanted to leave, was to be sent out of the country to Florida the very next day. How did you react?
I said, there's no fucking way that's going to happen. How the fuck does that work? And I was pissed off. And I wasn't going to pull any punches on it. I said, there's no way that this is going to happen.
After giving a deadline to the church to allow their daughter to leave, Liz Anderson drove to Sydney and sat outside in her car for 4 days, waiting for Jordan to emerge. Jordan says she was interrogated throughout that period, undergoing repeated security checks.
They would interrogate me for over 12 hours in session, checking me, you know, trying to find my indiscretions against the church.
Finally, she was shown the door, emerging into her mother's arms at 10 minutes to midnight. It's a moment Liz Anderson will never forget.
I just couldn't believe it, that I had the girl. And it was a moment of, oh my God, we're free.
You can see extended interviews with key participants in tonight's programme online. Just go to abc.net.au/4corners.